Listening practice test, the Great Basin Desert. The Great Basin Desert lies predominantly in the Intermountain West, a region bounded on the west by the Sierra Nevada Cascade Mountain axis and on the east by the Rocky Mountains. The mid-19th century explorer Captain John C. Fremont perceived the landscape to be a giant enclosed basin. Convinced by his 1843 to 1844 exploration that the area lacked an outlet to the sea, he named it the Great Basin. In fact, the name is somewhat misleading in that it suggests a single large basin. Actually, the Intermountain West is composed of 150 basins and approximately 160 discrete mountain ranges. This landscape of alternating mountain ranges and their adjacent basins is the physiographic zone known as the Basin and Range Province. The province has valley floors at high elevations, often more than 4,000 feet. Protruding from the basins are mountain ranges which were raised through the process of faulting. Most of the ranges have a north-south orientation, and many have peaks higher than 10,000 feet. Several exceed 12,000 feet. This means that in some areas mountain peaks rise 5,000 to 6,000 feet above the surrounding basins. The wearing away of the mountains by the inexorable forces of wind and water has filled many of the valleys with deep sediments, often forming broad plains. The low areas of these valleys or plains frequently contain ephemeral lakes called playas, which seldom contain water except during years of unusually high precipitation. During the late Pleistocene epoch, beginning about 75,000 years ago and ending 8,000 to 12,000 years ago, many of the valleys contained somewhat more permanent lakes. Two of these ancient lakes are especially notable because at one time or another they covered vast areas, and the sediments derived from them continued to affect the distribution of plants and animals even today. More important, there are existing lakes that originated from these bodies of water. One of the Pleistocene lakes, Lake Lahontan, existed in an area today that contains northwestern Nevada, southern Oregon, and northeastern California. Lake Lahontan once covered 8,495 square miles and was 886 feet deep. Today it persists mainly in a few scattered remnants, including Pyramid and Walker Lakes in Nevada. Another lake, Lake Winnemucca, existed until 1938. However, a diversion dam built for irrigation caused Lake Winnemucca to go dry. Pyramid Lake remains a viable, only slightly salty lake covering an area approximately 30 miles long and 7 miles wide. A form of trout, the Lahontan cutthroat, occurs in this lake. This species is a relic from the time when it was the only predatory fish in Lake Lahontan. The Lahontan is the largest cutthroat known. A specimen taken in 1925 from Pyramid Lake weighed a whopping 41 pounds. Other fish, native and introduced, occur in the lake and are the source of food for a large American white pelican colony on Anaho Island at the southeastern end of the lake. The second large Pleistocene lake occupied more than 20,000 square miles in Utah, Nevada, and Idaho. This body of water, Lake Bonneville, was approximately 1,083 feet deep. The remainders of the shores of Lake Bonneville form a series of terraces at roughly 5,150 feet in elevation and can easily be seen today along the Wasatch Mountains of Utah. The remnants of Lake Bonneville include the Great Salt Lake and Utah Lake in northern Utah and Sevier Lake, a large playa in west central Utah.